In this lesson we are going to crochet this interesting motif. Motif is interesting because the way it is made, and it's made out of two parts. First you will make petals, then you will make this circle with clones knot stitches and sew them together. So I'm going to follow the pattern in the book exactly the way they are teaching. I'm not changing anything. I also will use a single packing cord. I'm using a little bit slightly different hook, 0.9 for the video because it's easier for me, but my motif was made with hooks 0.75 millimeters, crochet thread number 8. And I am using packing cord for packing cord thread number 3. So the first thing we will do is crochet over the packing cord 14 stitches. So we are starting from the petal. We'll make first petal and we'll make 14 stitches. Actually, I will grab a different hook. 0.9 is a little bit too thick. I thought it will be easier. Okay, and so we make 14 stitches. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 and 14. So since you are making it over the single cord, you will have the end hanging like that here. But you will take care of it when you will finish your motif, when you will sew two parts together. On the back you will sew the packing cord just like I did here on the back. Sorry. Okay, after that what we need to do, we have to make chain 1 and turn our work. So first row is crocheted over the packing cord, single crochet stitches, 14 of them. After that we drop packing cord, we will not use this time, and the next row is again we crochet single crochet stitches into each single crochet stitch of the first row, and we crochet into both, inserting the hook into both loops of each stitch. You can count how many stitches you make, you don't have to, it will be 14 exactly if you will do it the way I did, or the book tell you, chain 1 and then you crochet. So I already was talking and I skip counting. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 4 more. (13) and 14. This crochet pet flower is quite unusual the way it's done. Don't worry about this twisting first time. They all petals, they will twist. quite a bit, but it's a normal behavior when you crochet with a packing cord. So at the end of this second row, we have to, according to the book, we have to turn our work, make chain 2, then we crochet a double crochet stitch into the third stitch. So 1, 2, third stitch, make double crochet. And we repeat this 4 times. 1, 2, again, skip 2 stitches into the third stitch, double crochet. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2, third stitch, double crochet. And one more time, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3, third stitch, make double crochet. And at the end you have to make chain 2 and crochet, connect. It says connect to the chain. So this is a chain we made when we crocheted first row. We made a chain to turn. So into that chain 1 we connect our last chain 2. Connect with slip stitch, of course, chain 1, turn your work and pick up packing cord. So now we will crochet into each of these chains, into each section of chain 2, 2 stitches, 2 single crochet. Into each double crochet we will make 1 single crochet on the top of that stitch. So first we make 2 single crochet, and don't forget you crochet now over the packing cord. You are finishing the last row of your petal for the leaf. Again, 2 single crochet into the chain of 2. We crochet around this arch that is made by chain 2 and 1 single crochet stitch into the top of each double crochet stitch. Right on top of it, pick up 2 loops of stitch and continue crochet. Don't forget about your packing cord. 2 single crochet on top of double and last 2 stitches in the last chain of 2. So this is how it will look like. I will adjust my packing cord a little bit so that I will not see that over there on the tip of the petal, but make sure also don't pull on the packing cord too much. You do not want your petals to be curled. They will be a little twisted like that, but it's okay. After you finish and block your flower and steam it, it will receive its shape. So now let's look at this petal. So we have here the last row. Here's our working thread, our packing cord, and we have also working thread we begin, short tail, and packing cord. Those two, ignore them for now. At the very end of your work you will take care of it after you will finish crocheting whole flower. So right now you just ignore it. So let's continue. There's a star in the book and it says that you have to repeat. The star begins here, the first row with the first row of 14 stitches, and you finish 14 stitches over the packing cord. So now you will repeat this petal, crocheting this exactly following the same pattern 7 more times. Total will be of 8 petals. So at the end, when you finished crocheting over the packing cord, last row of the petal, you're making chain 1, turn this work like that, and pick up packing cord. And this time you crochet, and this is how you will repeat. This is where repeat begins. This is how you will repeat 7 more times. Pick up packing cord and crochet only over the packing cord. You're making this first row of the petal as we did before, and you make it 14 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and again chain 1, turn your work and drop packing cord, this time crocheting only into the stitches right here. So you will constantly have increase one petal at this time, and you will turn your work together with those petals. So I will drop this work here because I have other piece that is already made, and I will continue with that piece where I actually have all my petals are done. So we finished, I finished. You'll have to stop the video and finish crocheting all your petals, all 8 petals. Don't worry that they are twisted. This is how your work will look like. So here's our short tails, and this is our work here. So this is the right side. The right side, how you determine, you see stitches facing you. This is our last stitch. And here you can do 2 things. You can take your needle and insert the short tail of the working thread in it and connect those 2 together, or follow instructions of the book. So I will do everything the way book does. First time I just connected with this thread last and first petals and weaved in that short tail, so that will not bother me, but I will just make it the way it is done in the book, so you will see everything the way it's done there. So now we will pick up our first petal. This is why I actually weaved in that thread and connected together, because it's just jumping into your hands and want to do something. So here we are, last petal, last stitch, and now we will connect those petals together. The way it's done, we will begin first you can actually make 1 stitch right away just to connect and see how to look like. This is the flower. And now we continue crochet. First we will go up on the first petal 7 slip stitches. And it's kind of unusual the way we crochet here on the other side of the packing cord with stitches. So insert into the very tip, almost into the packing cord, and crochet 7 slip stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we are going to crochet, and you will have all kind of this messy job with packing cord. It's always there, and you have those short tails, but you have to deal with this. So after you made the height, build up the height, we will start crocheting around the petals, basically on the tips of the petals, of a half of petals, and connect them together at the same time. So this is how we will do this. It's not really clear how they connect the long tail of the packing cord, but the way I do this, I just pick up my packing cord, ignore the short tails. So here is the long part of packing cord. It's still coming from the bottom, and I will place it behind the petal and I'll start crocheting. So the first thing it says we have to do, we make over the packing cord now and into the edge of the first petal 7 single crochet stitches. So we make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and don't forget you crochet now also over the packing cord. So right here you will have the packing cord that will look like that. Later you will sew over this piece so that no one will see it. You can add another packing cord if you do it the way we always crochet over the double crochet, double cord. When it's folded in half, it's easier to connect right in here, folded in half packing cord, so that you don't have to worry about this piece. But it's also possible we will later sew with working thread that piece on the back, so that packing cord will not be seen. So it's up to you. Now 7 single crochet stitches on one side of the petal, then onto the tip, right where the tip of the petal is, find the chain, turning chain, and into that stitch, it's quite visible stitch, you will find it easily, and over the packing cord make 3 stitches, 3 single crochet stitches right into the same spot, into the point of the petal or into that turning chain that you have there, and over the packing cord. And then the rest of the 7 single crochet stitches, now we will make them into the other side of the petal, also over the packing cord. So from now on you using your packing cord throughout your work to the end until you finish. 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 over the packing cords. You can adjust a little bit, make sure that there's no packing cord anywhere, like this. Pick up your last stitch, and then you skip in indentation right here. This is our indentation area. We skip 7 stitches on this petal and 7 stitches right here. So we connect both petals. So I notice that it's easier for me to count from the top 7th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So pick up your packing cord and connect first petal to the second, and continue crochet over the packing cord and into the edge of the next petal. 7 single crochet stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Onto the tip where our turning chain, it's very easy to identify this stitch, make 3 single crochet stitches also over the packing cord, and continue on the other side of the petal, single crochet stitches over the packing cord, also 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So exactly the same way, continue crochet around, connecting all your petals together, following the same pattern. 7 single crochet stitches over the packing cord on one side of the petal, on the tips 3 single crochet stitches, on the other side 7 single crochet stitches, then skip 7, and continue repeating the pattern for the tips. And this is how you will go around an entire flower. I have it ready, and this is where I am. All my petals are connected, as you see. All I have to do, drop packing cord at the end. This is how it will look like. Here's our packing cord right now. Drop it. You don't need this anymore. And make a slip stitch right here where the first stitch was you made when you started to crochet around the petals. So make slip stitch here, connect the two together. Somehow I lost the thread. Okay. It will be a little bit kind of wider area here, but you can always take thread, the working thread, and go around this area and pull on it a little bit to make it smaller, make the circle smaller. So I will stop here. What you're going to do, you already know how to do this. You made your last slip stitch, take needle, and with the working thread, work and hide those packing cords, just sew around them, as we always do. Move it a little bit to the back, and inserting this needle into the back part of the flower, into the stitches, make sure to hide that packing cord. At the same time, you can do the same with this cord, moving it this direction, or move it on that side and sew around the packing cord on this petal. And still leave those out. You can take care of them right now if you wish, and weave into those petals somewhere, or weave it into the button. So I will see you in the next video. Work on the flower, make all those 8 petals, take care of all the thread and packing cord, and in the next video we will make button.